Okay, let's get started. Are we on? Welcome to the Berlin Conservation Commission meeting of October 18th, 2023. Reminder, this is an open public meeting and it is subject to being recorded. If you participate, your voice and image will be recorded. All right. Oh, that's what this other piece of paper in front of me already is. Jeez. It's gonna be a long night at this rate. Okay. Minutes. They were good. I read them. Anybody else have any comments?
I wasn't here, so
Correction?
I can't.
Okay.
vote on them.
Oh, so we can't vote on them.
Okay.
I thought we could vote even if we weren't here for the meeting. Like, you can't necessarily, I thought we said we could. I thought you, I mean, obviously you don't know if they're wrong or not, but I
I don't
thought,
know
Right.
if they're wrong or not.
Right.
I thought we had had a conversation in the past.
Let's just wait.
That's fine.
Let's err on the side of caution on
Okay.
that. And we don't have a treasurer's report update.
Pass
Oh,
the
that's
torch
right.
on that.
Do we
Nope,
have a
I do
treasurer? No.
not.
No.
Okay.
Yes, we're in transition.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Bills and forms.
Yeah, not really much going on.
All right. Good. I like that. No bills. Mail.
Yeah, don't really see much going on.
Right, so there was definitely, there was an email from a gentleman who is a scoutmaster in Hudson, wanting to know if they can use the field on River Road, near the apartments, for rocket launching. I guess they have a program. So, you know, my initial, my main concern was, don't put a rocket in my river.
Just bottle rockets.
No, these are like real rockets,
Okay.
like real, you know, like Project Aerospace. I don't know. So I don't really know exactly. So he said, you know, they size the motor of the rocket to the field and whatever, and so they're going to come in. He's going to come in to our next meeting to give us a little bit more information. See if anybody has any other questions for them. And at this point, it probably won't be until the spring anyway, but they'd like to get permission ahead of time.
Okay.
So there was that. Yeah, there hasn't been a lot,
No.
which is good.
Yep. Like the one's quiet.
Yeah, right. After the summer we've had, we deserve a little break. So we've got 6 more minutes till our first hearing. We can talk, so Louise obviously isn't here tonight, but she has been coordinating with Sudbury Valley trustees and the high school about setting up a trail work program. They're doing some mentoring with high school students. And I think 4 or 5 kids have signed up to do some trail work this Saturday at Highland Ridge. So keep an eye out for them. And any chance you're available to go out and be with them
This weekend?
this weekend? No?
I'm there.
Oh, that's right. You're going to be there.
I'm there.
Right.
Because
Okay.
somebody had to be here.
Right.
That's what she said, so I'll be there.
Yep, okay,
Yeah.
awesome. And I know, because she asked me if Walter or AJ, or Kyle could do it, because AJ, when AJ comes back.
Yeah, yeah, in November.
Yeah,
But I don't know if they're gonna have it in November because they
Right.
didn't have enough sign up.
Right.
So it's gonna happen this Saturday.
Right.
But I know it's supposed to rain, so I don't care about that. But if they still are good with it, I can do it.
yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be a washout. I
Okay,
saw
yeah.
tonight, so, awesome. Thank you, Holly.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And that, and that. And November 1st, well, maybe November 1st, our next meeting. So Craig Delapenna is going to come and give a presentation.
So again, though, are we doing the rail trail as part of Concom? Like, did we figure it out with Peg if we needed to have a separate committee with the
I
town?
don't think we need to. Hopefully we can gather some interest and let it be a separate group. But I think for now, it makes the most sense for us to host to host his presentation.
Yeah. Okay.
Pamphlet guy.
Yes, play nice.
I will try.
Do we know what he's presenting?
He gave a version of it to the planning board a month ago, maybe. But he lives way out in Florence, and he would prefer to do it remote. That's what I meant to ask.
Oh, so he's not
Kristen.
coming okay.
Well, he will come.
Okay.
So it may be at the next meeting. It may be once we get this room set up for hybrid meetings.
Okay.
Because it's not super time critical. So I did mean to ask Kristen about that.
You said November 1st? You said November 1st?
Yeah, which is our next meeting.
Okay.
Yep. So anyway, so we're in the works to do that. 3 more minutes. And what else? What else is going on? You want to talk about your bird banding?
Sure. So we're attempting to ban northern saw-whet owls up at Acre Woods this season. So we've gone out 3 times. The first time we didn't catch anything. The second time we caught 3 owls, and the third time we caught 3 more owls. So we're up to 6 owls up there. They're tiny little migratory owls. They're pretty cute.
Like tiny.
Tiny, like this big.
How do you catch them?
So we use mist nets. So if you're walking along the trails in Acre Woods, you may notice them.
Off the trail.
Yeah, off the trail. Essentially, it's a fine net that you play, and then you play an audio that calls them down in while they're migrating. And so, yep, we get trapped, and then we ban them with a unique band number so they can be tracked. But, yeah.
So Maddie did migratory, or not migratory,
Yeah,
but
so we did
songbirds.
breeding songbirds over the summer at Acre Woods, because we're doing a forest stewardship program over at Acre Woods for bird habitat. So we kind of wanted to get like a baseline of what the bird habitat was like or what species were using it. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing.
Where is that?
Ball Hill Road, kind of right on the Boylston line, pretty close to the Boylston line.
Yep.
Yep.
Do they have like a GPS tracker on the band?
So, nope, it's just an aluminum band
Okay.
that has a 9-digit number. So if anyone finds a bird, they can report it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or if it gets caught in another capture program,
Okay.
we'll know where it went.
Yep.
I was gonna say, is there like a national registry?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So the Bird Band Lab down in Maryland.
Okay.
You can report any band you find, and they'll
Okay.
tell you where it was. But they are working on doing like modus stations. So there's somebody looking for partnership next year to put the tags on these guys so you can track them without
With
recapturing them.
GPS.
Okay.
So I might volunteer for that. So that'd be pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool indeed. All right, we've got 7:15. Come on up.
Good evening.
And you are Jonathan.
Jonathan Schuster with TRC on behalf of CSX Transportation, and we have William Perry listed as the contact owner there. So I do have some photos to distribute from the seeding that we did yesterday.
Oh, great.
So I'll just pass a few that, but they're all the same thing. I think I brought copies. Yeah, right, here we go. One for myself. So if you don't mind, I'll just jump into sort of an update on the status of the site, and then we can get into the notice of intent application and kind of where we are with the emergency order and all those things. So currently there still is work yet to do at the site, and I can kind of list out what has been done is sort of the stabilization of the larger areas that were disrupted. So we cast New England wetland plants erosion control mix, as well as a moist mix for like a detention basin kind of closer in to the banks of the stream. We have inert straw mulch that we spread around, as you can see. One challenge, because it's fall, is the area was covered in leaves, so we had to sort of get access, because if we just cast the seed, it would kind of blow away off the top of the leaves. So,
Right.
so we did a little pre-raking, cast the seed, and then got the straw down. So that should be fairly stable. I will say, because of the topography of the site with the stone wall adjacent, it actually works nicely as a bowl, so we haven't had any erosion control issues as I saw it when I was at the site. Remaining work, and again, this is still under the auspices of the second emergency order that you guys just approved, would be sort of restructuring the head wall and end wall of that 24-inch culvert that runs below the tracks, just to really cinch that up. Some jute netting in the same areas that we just seeded, so the contractor's going to come in the next couple weeks and do that, do the jute netting, tack that in so it's a little more stable over the winter. We have ballast stone removal from the 12-inch culvert. And you guys, if a good figure to reference is figure 3 in the application that has the buffer zones and things.
It's like the first picture.
We, again, for the emergency order
Yeah.
and the purposes of the notice of intent, we're talking about just this envelope in the right-of-way, although we do see that there are some areas not in the right-of-way. The contractor does seek permission, and we now have a 1-year understanding and agreement with that owner to access the site the same way they did before, as well as conduct any staging that's needed, because they are bringing in some stone to really stabilize that track, make sure another accident doesn't occur, and again, also possibly bringing in some clean topsoil. When the trash was removed, they kind of necessarily over-scooped, so we have some pitting that's happening with a little standing water.
Right.
So the idea is to regrade that with the clean material. I've reserved some native seed mix, so if that happens, let's say in the next 2 weeks, I will go back out and just make sure those areas get a final seeding. But the majority has been seeded, even areas that they'll probably just, mess up the seed mix that's already down there. So we'll redo that. So that's the.
Can I just stop you
Sure.
real quick? What are the odds of the seed actually germinating at this point?
Yes, that's a good question. So I had a good phone conversation with New England Wetland Plants and the guy that makes up their mixes there. The strategy we took is that the erosion control mix includes things like rye that can germinate at this time of year and get a little bit of a foothold. So even in those wetter areas, we put down 2 kinds of seed mix. So the wetland mix, which has a little bit more specialized plants, that may not pop this year. That seed mix is down, but we've accompanied that in those wetter areas around the banks with that straight erosion control mix. So hopefully we'll get some pop of that. The buffer zone just has the erosion control mix, which has that rye, and probably some of the other little wildflowers and things that are in that mix wouldn't pop till the spring. So it's not ideal, but at least with the mulch and the promise of potentially some germination, it's better than nothing. So that's sort of the approach. And given now that we're formally permitting this, we anticipate, a site visit or 2, keeping tabs on it, seeing if more mix is needed in the spring. In terms of the actual project work, right now there is silt fence at the site, and there's kind of that filter sock that's down in the stream.
Yeah.
The application speaks to use of additional straw wattle as needed. So I mentioned that topography is actually favorable for the site, but they could always just lay down, say, an 8-inch straw wattle right around that area where they're going to be digging and regrading. So that's what I recommended to the contractor. And if the commission agrees, I can just have them get that wattle on site in case they need it.
Sure.
And deploy it. We do have a DEP file number. So again, this is for, the notice of intent that is partially retroactively permitting this restoration effort. That's CE 1070271. In the application, we do itemize the impacts to each resource area. For instance, there's about 93 linear feet of bank, more or less, that we're keeping, attention to. Some areas were more stripped than others in the cleanup, but that's sort of, how we're basically saying, 93 linear feet of bank, impact, temporarily, and 93 linear feet of restoration because we're restoring all these impacted areas. Similarly with land underwater, we have about 6 square feet. That was where that ballast stone was deposited in the intermittent stream channel, and I estimated about 60 square feet where they had already removed trash, where technically the land underwater in the stream channel was already impacted. We've itemized, buffer zone. We have riverfront area on site. Northbrook is off site. So we've kind of, got that straight in our application.
Right, so there was a DEP comment
Yes.
about actually identifying the parcel.
Yes, so I can speak to that. So this is kind of an odd situation where even on the town's assessor maps, there's not a really good reference number for this particular right-of-way. I've seen in other towns where it's kind of hard, but you eventually can pin down, okay, this is the deed for this right-of-way. This is sort of a parcel reference at the town, and you can relate that at the Registry of Deeds. I did have a phone call this week with the Registry of Deeds. Unfortunately, as of right now, I think I actually have to go in person to figure this out. They have a class of land, I think it's called like uncategorized properties or things. So if you just go on their website, how you can search by deeds, you simply can't search this. So I'm hoping to have that. One option would be, obviously continue this until we have that. I would ask and just put it to the commission if we felt that we could close an issue with the understanding that before recordation, I would have somebody on my team go down to the Registry of Deeds possibly next week, sort that out, and then we'd have a waiting period anyway. And hopefully that would just align so that they could record it after they have the number. Again, it's minor, but it's not, I understand it's important that this be recorded for the deed there.
Right, because all of this is within the right-of-way. So, and none of it is the adjacent parcel.
As the application depicts it. I mean,
Yeah.
so we have an access that is
Correct.
off-site.
Yep.
We have a couple, things that are happening, some staging, but
Yeah,
we're,
like-
for the purposes of the application, at the last meeting, I conferred with you all, as
Right.
well as Tom Rabula at DEP, about filing just for this right-of-way, with the understanding that there is that access, there is the smaller culvert that's just off-site. So that's sort of how we've approached it. And they do have that agreement with the owner there. I will mention in terms of the staging, I was out there yesterday, those piles of loam up by the road are still there. So in a way, that's actually kind of good in that if they do use that area for staging by the road, there's enough material to just take care of everything at the end. So it's not like we have to restore that again, or to have that owner restore it. So yeah, I guess that's basically where we're at. Yeah, so deed sleuthing, we can, I'll make sure to have somebody on my team figure that out, and when that does happen, I'll make sure to let you know. But yeah, I did see that comment.
Yep.
And I guess the other thing I'll mention, in the meantime, we do still have the second emergency order, which is active, and like next week or the week after, the contractor could still go out even without the issuance of this permit, though that would make things simpler to
Right.
just have
it
the
all
issuance.
Done under this.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Anybody have any questions, comments? I know, it's kind of straightforward.
Yeah.
I know most of you I know are here for Highland Ridge. Stephen, did you want to say anything?
So part of this work is to repair damage that was done as a result of the derailment or the equipment that came in afterwards.
Correct.
And is there going to be any use of fertilizer or other chemicals in this project?
No.
No.
And are there any changes? Do we have continuation of the work that you've done in terms of the scope? And you know, the equipment that you've had so far, or do you anticipate a big increase?
Go ahead.
If I may,
Yeah.
through the chair. So this is work that has been discussed with this commission as well as DEP. So basically, this filing is formalizing that and retroactively permitting those restoration items that were agreed upon, as well as some recommendations from the contractor, such as the head wall and end wall. In terms of equipment going in and out, yes, that part of the disruption was literally the debris being strewn, and then obviously bringing in machinery to fix that up. So that's most of that disruption. I mean, that disruption's done. The cleanup, that portion of the cleanup is complete. So really, we're just, you know, permitting those remaining.
Right, so
Elements.
the restoration of the side of the road where a lot of the heavy equipment was staged at the beginning of the cleanup, has anything been done with that?
I'm not sure. I think there's mulch in that area. My understanding is, so that owner was kind enough to, you know, cooperate, make sure that the equipment had access. The loam was delivered there to be spread. I believe there's seed mix involved that can be cast. At the time of the site walk that we had with AJ and Tom Rabula and John Mulhall, who's my colleague, we basically were talking about not conjoining this effort here with that. So we can certainly continue to keep tabs on it and try to make sure that CSX, that owner, and TRC can all coordinate together to give you the most up-to-date information about what's happening both on this site that we're talking about as well as that off-site area that was impacted, if that makes sense. But in terms of this application, it doesn't include that area.
Sure, correct. Yep. It's, you're the guy sitting here, so, you know, it's very hard to get, to contact anybody at CSX. There's piles of trash all over town from other projects that they've done. I know that's not part of this filing, but it's certainly part of the work in town. So we would love to get somebody to clean that up and to clean up what has happened along the sides of Allen Road.
Do you have a list of locations or just offhand?
Every crossing in town.
Every crossing?
Has your
Yeah.
stuff on it.
Okay.
Like
Jugs of tar,
metal
metal, 4x4,
barrels
stone.
that are half crushed.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Okay.
You paved it all right, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, all the metal track marks in the road, I don't know what stage all those roads are in for, but that's DPW, that's not us.
Okay. I could certainly, you know.
That would be great. Yeah.
Just try to
Like I said,
disseminate
you're the guy sitting
the
here, so.
message, yeah. Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
To know.
So, as far as the filing, I mean, really, I think it's a standard, it's pretty basic. We definitely want to address DEP's, you know, deed, property identification comment. So I would take a motion to approve contingent on getting some sort of identification for the property.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Wonderful.
So Maddie will get the digital copies to you, and then we'll mail. Do you want to come by and pick up the copy for the Registry of Deeds, or do you want us to mail it?
I suppose we can, yeah, I suppose we can just have it mailed, if that makes sense.
We're recording address.
Right.
Sure.
So to the office in Lowell.
I'm just gonna have it, I live in Bolton.
Okay.
So I mean, actually, if it's ready, Yeah, we can coordinate. I also might be able to just swing by too,
Okay.
but I'll just
Yeah,
give you
I'll
my
just email.
address.
Yeah, I'll email you as soon as it's done and
Okay.
figure out what you prefer.
Because I assume you don't want us to mail it to CSX.
Right, yeah, that
You'll,
probably
you'll
not
never
the-
see it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I guess one other item, if that's okay, is just, we'll work with you about sort of any necessary inspections and then follow-up work as things progress, into the winter and then into the spring, and hopefully it'll all be stable.
Yep.
Right.
So,
Yes, hopefully in the spring, we can
That's the goal.
issue a COC and be done with it.
Wonderful.
Yes.
All right. Thank you all
Awesome.
very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Look at that, 7:31. Brian, I see you there in the corner.
Just me today, though.
No, John.
No, he just texted me at 6, he couldn't make it.
Oh, that's right, I think we knew last time that,
Yeah, well, we asked.
Yes.
And he said that he was gonna come.
He said he was gonna come yesterday.
Well, it was yesterday.
I met with him yesterday just to walk the site.
Oh, and he didn't show?
No, he was there yesterday.
Oh.
But it
And
doesn't
yesterday, he said he was gonna be here tonight.
Right, exactly, yes.
Cool, so,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I heard that he submitted the plan,
Yes.
but we don't have a copy of it. Super really,
I know.
yeah. I'm not gonna take it out, I'm not gonna take out how I feel about this on you, Brian, but, not cool. So, we don't have anything.
Yeah.
Is there any high-level description of the plan that you could provide?
I haven't even seen it. I got a
It was-
phone call.
Brian, have you seen it?
Yeah, it was sent on an email, yes.
Right, but
Yeah.
yes, I did not. I got a phone call from Pat Garner about 3:30 this afternoon saying that he saw it. And he said if it was for new construction, he would have a lot to say about it, but for a retro fit to try and alleviate the issues, he was okay with it. But we don't have anything to vote on.
what did we do last time?
What do you mean? So last time we asked for progress so Pat said you're also slowly dewatering the pond.
Yes. 3/4-inch hose and a small pump. And yeah, it's gone down. Yesterday it was down 11 inches, so.
Okay.
And we had rain, in
Yeah.
between there, so it's going down.
Guess we can look at Patrick's
Yeah, we can look at
10/10 report.
Pat's last report. So the one thing that keeps being in the report, and AJ actually mentioned it before he left, there's some silt fence that has silt up against it that has not been cleaned. And
Okay.
so that needs to be attended to. We've been asking for a while now. Miss Linda White.
Okay, so this is a little pathetic, but I am asking the Conservation Committee to implement a stop work order until you have the plan.
You beat me to it every time.
Is that what we did last time? That's what I was asking, is that what we did last time?
Yeah, well, so we asked for several things last time. We got one of them this afternoon. We asked for it by the weekend, last Sunday. We've asked for, and less of you are showing up to our meetings. So I know you're gonna have to be the one to take this.
I know.
But I'm not happy. I'm not happy. The only time that we get attention is when we stop the work. And I know that there is kind of a push and pull about if we stop the work, these guys don't get their punch list done either. But
Doesn't matter.
at this point,
They're not doing it anyway. They're not doing it anyway, so they're not stopping anything.
excellent. Would you like to make a motion, sir?
I'm always the bad guy. All right, yeah, So until make a motion for stop work of all forward progress at the site of Highland Ridge until the appropriate, not candidates, but representatives are able to find the time for the community and this board. No more work.
To give us what we've asked for, what we
Second.
continue to ask for.
Yep,
A second.
yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor? Aye. Yeah.
Next meeting,
The first.
Yep, November 1st. Yes, sir.
Sorry, me again.
No.
There was a discussion at the last meeting about some form of escrow, and I thought there was a discussion on it was to basically talk to other members of the town planning board, et cetera, to determine whether that was feasible, made sense, et cetera. I was wondering if there's any update on that.
I did no, but I think I was really hoping that we wouldn't have to go that route, but I think we should make a note and talk to whoever we need to talk to see how something like that might work.
Okay, so it's not tabled then?
No,
Good.
no.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
When would the stop work order take effect?
Tomorrow morning, or tonight at midnight, or, yes, immediately.
I was just
Yeah, I'll be
like
there
right now,
Sunday.
isn't it?
Yeah.
We can, yeah.
Yeah, if
So
it
it's
could
pretty
be-
much filled out, yeah.
Okay,
Dated.
so-
Make sure we check the right box.
You're wonderful.
So Alex.
Guess that keeps it short.
Do you have any
Brett.
idea why these gentlemen aren't coming? We're here. Why? I don't know.
Apparently, they have more important things to do.
Oh, man, this has been now, what? Half our lifetime, it seems.
Extent and type of all activity. So we want them to stop everything except, is there anything related to the remediation, to the work that we've asked for that is still in progress?
Yeah, Tuesday they're coming to, by the clubhouse, we're gonna put that swale in, the driveway going down the side. They're gonna do that, and they're gonna put the gutter drains behind 49, 51.
Okay, so we want to still allow that.
Okay.
So,
Excuse me.
yep,
I thought the gutter drains were to go on all the units, not just a couple of them.
I don't have a plan showing me any of it, so.
We had that plan last meeting.
There were no gutter drains on that plan. I specifically asked for them, and that was too costly.
Yeah.
And I have another question. Why would a plan be acceptable for remediation and not be acceptable for a new, this is a new development, so why would it be acceptable? I don't get it.
I honestly, because I haven't seen the plan, I cannot truly answer that.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like.
The department that made that? I didn't quite, you used a name and I didn't know who that was.
Oh,
so I'm
so
sorry.
he
Sorry.
is the wetlands specialist that is monitoring the property on behalf of the town.
Okay.
This is the plan from last time. It shows it. It's
Oh,
really-
yeah.
My phone
Yeah,
sucks.
meeting.
Sorry, no, it's full.
It's
I'm
hard
so-
to,
He's at next
my phone's
meeting,
really not that good.
because we'll be able to ask that. It's a good question.
If he shows up, if he, yeah.
Oh, he might be referring to
Oh,
Pat.
Pat, yes, hopefully Pat will be able to make that meeting, yes.
That would be great, yeah.
Yep.
So is there any way to allow punch list work to happen? I've been waiting for something for a year and a half, and they tell me maybe next week. So
I am so sorry,
for
but
people who already live there, it's,
You've waited a year and a half, I don't think, I mean,
well, I mean.
I doubt it's gonna get done then,
But
so,
I don't see why punch list items can't continue in the new homes.
because you're giving them more leverage to leave without fixing your problem. So I would suggest that if you waited a year and a half, you might wanna buckle up for 2, just so we can get your property all set up and safe. honestly, not to be, you know what I mean?
Wait, hold on.
Could it stop Saturday, for example? I mean, I'm sure there's work scheduled as well. I mean, is that an unreasonable thing?
It's gonna be immediate.
Yeah, immediate stop, right, and then.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make a motion not to release until all the parties involved can actually show up and give me the time of day to have a discussion. Because it's kind of insulting to me and this board, and you as homeowners. Because every time he's got an excuse why he's not here. He's getting paid, but he's not here. So, insults me.
My understanding is the punch list completion is not a requirement for the builder before the builder can leave. So
That is not a conservation thing.
Right. Back to John's point.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that you have to, I don't think there's really a reason from the town perspective or from anyone's perspective to not allow punch list items. I think that's a positive for everyone, builder, town, and us residents. That was my only observation.
right.
Can we stop work on anything, just anything that's not occupied?
Correct.
No, I stand by what I said. Stop work order and everything. I'm not giving them anything.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
No, there's a punch list for people that.
So, right?
I agree.
Okay. I'll be the bad one again.
What do you mean? Oh,
Punch list, so the language, we have to say punch list for enclosed houses.
Yeah, no. No work at all.
Okay,
Yeah, that's where I gotta stick to it.
okay, sure.
Or
Sorry.
Understand.
all work to stop except any work related to
It keeps the focus on the issue at hand, I think, but
site.
and how many weeks have we hung out now? So, I mean, I'm just trying, I love seeing you guys, but maybe once a year at town meeting's enough for me, okay? Yeah, then that gentleman in the back when you get a second.
Yep. October 18, 20.
No, she's right. Once the boss says it's cool. Yeah.
Yep, good.
Just to comment on some work that I believe was part of the remediation, it was that swale work that was done behind west side of Campbell, completed right before the last meeting.
Yep.
And unless anyone tells me I'm behind time, there was never any provision to water that seeded and mulched area. Now, it has been fairly dry since the last meeting, so I have no idea how well, if anybody's noticed that.
It's so late in the season, the odds of that germinating, even if it was cared for by Mother Earth herself.
What's he talking about, that dead end over there?
No, behind Campbell, we put that long swale in with
In
the
the
pipe.
middle.
Yeah, the stone one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Trying to picture it. I like pictures, I'm a simple man.
It's just grass.
Yeah,
Right, so it's just uphill
And this is
from
the
the
dead end.
stone.
right?
So the entrance is over here. It comes in and loops around this way.
Okay.
Yeah,
So like, entrance, point,
right. Entrance.
entrance.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
There's a dead end.
The dead end is like right up here.
Oh, okay.
So this is here-ish. Yeah.
Roger.
If you want to look at my fuzzy phone, it's on there.
Oh yeah, that's better. Blueprints I get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Okay, cool.
Signatures.
I was just making sure I
All right,
understood
here
it.
we go.
And also there's a box somewhere in there that I think we need to check.
Okay. Let's make sure we check all the boxes.
This is from.
Go that way first. Okay. Do you have the last one?
Yep.
So that was the box. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
For signatures.
Yep. All right, that's that.
Front right.
Yes, sir.
So when is the next meeting scheduled?
November 1st. We're gonna have
weeks, yeah.
Thanksgiving together at this rate. No, I'll be in
No.
Italy for Christmas, so sorry. Yes, we will not be having a December 20th meeting. So that, but to your point, that gives us 3 meetings till the end of the year. So,
Who's in charge of, like, snow management down there? Is that still on you guys, or?
No,
Not
the
you
management
guys, but-
company's doing it. Yeah, we sub it out.
Yeah, you sub it?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Smart Landscaping, the same guys that do the landscaping.
Yeah, because, do you have that chart of where the snow removal is going and all that down there? Is that a print they required for Berlin?
I didn't.
Snow management?
No.
Places? Okay. Because that would just be like,
Trail work, is that still gonna happen?
yeah.
That's
Yep,
not-
that's not, that has nothing to do with the builder, that's volunteer on Sudbury Valley trustee land.
Is there someone from Highland Ridge that's gonna be there as well? I mean, as a courtesy to see what they're doing, or are they? Is
I don't
that-
think
If any of you guys want to show up, I believe it's at 1:30, right?
1:30 at that parking
no,
lot.
he means from the building company, I think.
You know, we're meeting,
I mean, from the residents, I didn't know if anyone.
I don't
was-
know if they notified the residents. I'm not sure.
Right, I'm not sure on this one, especially because it is a group of high school kids.
Right.
So it's, you know, kind of a
Informal.
special
I
project
understand. I was
for
just
them.
curious if, I haven't heard anybody talk about it, we haven't seen it in our email
Right.
exchanges, so 1:30 on Saturday?
Yes.
And which parking lot?
So, and you go in the entrance, that first lot right to the left,
Where the model is.
where the model is,
Yeah.
right there. That's where we'll be meeting at 1:30.
Okay, very good, thank you.
So,
Yeah, and so we'll email this also to everybody in
Yep.
God's children tomorrow?
Mhm.
Okay.
so my only thing now that you're here too, as we discuss is snow management, depending on that, as we're going, there's no active plan on where all the snow goes if we get a lot of snow.
Excellent.
So if that snow gets all pounded up on dead ends or in certain areas, the spring's gonna turn into a, hopefully it's like last winter.
Right.
Not that I wanna make some plow money, but, you know what I mean? But
Yes.
if we get a
Yeah.
lot of snow and it gets piled up, I'd like to see a plan for that to get either excavated out, because the equipment's down there, down by the wells or something, or some sort of
Right.
plan to not just keep stacking her up on the dead ends and in the far ends. Just because when that all melts in the spring, in New England spring, it could turn into
A mess.
round 2.
Yeah, could turn into round 2.
So I'd hate to
Yep.
lose any headway, especially with you.
Right.
I like hanging
So
out with
we
you too, you know,
want,
but
for the next meeting, we want all of the plans that we've asked for.
Yep.
We want to add the snow removal plan or
Yeah.
snow storage plan. And we want more than just you.
I'm not good enough, I know.
you are enough. We just want more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. That was a good way to
Is that
put
good?
it. That was a very good way,
That was my
yes.
nice one for the meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good job.
Thank you.
Just to follow up, do you have to actually vote on that stop work order?
We did.
We already did. Yeah.
Yep,
Cool.
yeah. Yep, we voted, we signed, we dated, gave a copy to Brian, and we will send a copy to Mr. Benincasa tomorrow. John?
Be beneficial for him to actually come to one of these meetings. Brian's standing here.
Well, that's right. That's why I'm not gonna
Is what it
yell
is.
at Brian.
There might be guys there tomorrow picking up tools and stuff, but
No, they're allowed to take their tools
Yeah.
out, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, well, last time they went and did that and
all right,
We got
well, but,
reported.
right, because we didn't know why
Right,
some
so-
people were
Oh,
there,
yeah.
so, yeah.
so just so
You
you
can
know.
pick them up, but if I hear them shoot, then it's two different things.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and it shouldn't take too long to collect the tools, so if
Yeah.
they're there for the morning,
Yeah.
you
well,
know.
Yeah,
some-
one
Say,
day
they might
we
come
go.
in the afternoon or whatever.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
I'm just saying,
Just-
if, yeah,
Right. But I'll be there, so nobody will be working.
okay,
Cool.
awesome.
Actually, I might send the original to Ben Carson, if you want to take the copy.
Oh.
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
Yep,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yep.
yep. All right, well, I think that, oh, Yes.
Fire away.
Email that you received, which had, I guess, progress report, partial plan, can that be sent to John? That's it? So you can send it out?
Yep.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, my understanding, it's the engineering report from John Grenier.
Yes.
Yes. All right, anybody else? Have a good weekend.
All right.
See you in a couple weeks.
All right.
See you,
Thank you, Brian.
Brian. And I think we can be done. I don't think, we don't have anything else. Let's just, all right. So I think that's it for the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn at 7:53 PM.
I will second it. Oh, you can have it. I've done enough talking today. You're good. Give it to you.
Non-debatable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.